Coming to you pre-recorded in multiple locations. If you're having a Mac attack and you head to McDonald's, they're gonna charge you a Mac-a-fee. And that's hella rad. We're your hosts, Andrew and Nathan. Nathan, how are you doing tonight? What are you drinking?
Doing good. I've been thinking about poop diamonds a lot. It's just running around my head ever since we did the last episode.
Yeah.
I'm
drinking. Reach out to the Kardashians?
The what?
Did you reach out to the Kardashians yet?
Oh, no. Working on that. Not in terms of the poop diamond, though. It has nothing to do with that, why I'm trying to reach them. But in either case, I'm drinking a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. Nothing fancy, but it's good. It's classic.
What a coincidence. I am also drinking Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
All right.
Nothing more to say on that. You want to tell us about our non-sponsors for today?
Yeah, of course, Gatorade. Just always, fuck Gatorade.
Never forget.
Yeah, never forget that Gatorade is, well, fuck them. That's all I gotta say. And then, but in terms of another one is Adidas. You know what? Fuck you guys for not taking a stance on anything. Fuck them. They can't be relevant.
If you're not stirring up any controversy, no one's talking about you. So
yeah,
what the fuck's the point? My non-sponsor for today is any makers of treadmills. It's a waste of your time and money. You can run for free. You could just walk around your living room. You don't need to spend $400 on a stationary walking machine. Or, stationary bikes for that matter too. You can just get a little prop that you put your back wheel on, and that's like $50. And you probably already have a bike. So,
well, it'd be better
bullshit
to have the utility of a real bike and then just prop it up when you want to do your indoor exercise, right?
Exactly, and that you could get that whole setup for cheaper than what a stationary bike would cost. So,
how are you going to simulate that intense mountain climb?
Just put some jam some objects in front of the tire to give you some resistance.
There you go.
Put it in front of a wall. There you go. You put your bike on your treadmill, and then you can do it that way.
I guess really the sensible thing, you just put those ankle weights on. Fuck, there you go.
So today's show, we're going to discuss the In-N-Out Burger boycott. We're also going to get into another edition of Four-Wheel Frustrations and even more hella fancy. And as always, we're going to give you that Faberge Egg update that everybody desperately waits for. But before we do that, I think you had an update you wanted to give us,
an
correct?
Update of a different nature. A couple things about our friend, as referenced in the intro, McAfee. Well, if you haven't heard, he's running for president, so that's exciting. Clearly, he's got a good chance. The doors are open now with Trump. But thing I really wanted to talk about, I wanted to just mention that because it's kind of interesting. But the most interesting thing I think is, so he made this cryptocurrency wallet, and it's called Bitfi or Bitfi. I don't know. It doesn't really matter how you pronounce it. But the claim on this thing was that it's unhackable, and of course, you put that kind of claim out there, people are going to challenge it. And people hacked it pretty quickly. The first time he got hacked, he was just saying shit like, they didn't technically hack it the way to back up a little bit, they put a bounty out, said we'll pay you $250,000 if you actually hack this wallet. So people hacked it, and they're like, oh, that doesn't count because you didn't get access to the private keys for the cryptocurrency. And so then just recently, I'd say within the past week, the end of August, it got hacked again, and this time they were able to extract the private keys for the cryptocurrency. So the bug bounty was removed. They didn't really make an official statement about paying it out. Nobody knows if they're actually going to pay it, but it's just McAfee's just crazy. The fact that he made a cryptocurrency wallet to begin with, claimed it was unhackable, put up a bounty, just this whole, and then like refutes the hack claims. He's like, well, anybody could hack anything, but they didn't hack it, the way I said it should be hacked for the bounty. And they had a 15-year-old kid playing Doom on it and everything, and it was pretty funny. They won a Pony Award. I never heard of it, but in the article I was reading, they won a Pony Award for lamest vendor response in response to this unhackable claim and how he handled the whole situation. Just a fun little update.
I like that he didn't deny that they were able to hack it. He's like, no, you didn't hack according to the rules. Like, you hacked it, but yeah, just not how we told you to hack it. It's like such bullshit.
So what if you can play Doom on it? That's not a real hack. You're like, yeah, you got root access to your device. It's been hacked. Yeah.
I feel like that's what most hackers. That's the first thing most hackers do is like we got to see if we can play Doom on it. Like that was the big benchmark for those like little Raspberry Pi computer circuit boards. It's like, okay, you can play Doom on it. All right, they're effective. We could start using these in everyday life now. They're powerful enough.
Yeah, I like how that's the barometer for like hackers or people dealing with the hardware and making it work with the software. Is if you can get it to play Doom, then you're on the right track.
Speaking of Doom, there was recently for Doom 2, I'm pretty sure it was Doom 2, somebody recently found a secret in the game that had never been discovered before. Or it had never been activated. I think they knew about it in the coding of the game, but they couldn't figure out how to get it to unlock like this secret area. And I watched like a video on it. It was pretty absurd. Like there was a little pedestal that you had to stand on that would like open a teleporter, but you couldn't stand on the teleporter. You had to get knocked on it by a monster, but there was like only certain monsters that had the ability to like hit you and move you, and the one that could do it, you had to like coax across like half the level to get him where he needed to go to actually like hit you. I was like, that's so fucking absurd.
Well, I'm glad that's out there. Finally. Now I can sleep.
Yeah. Speaking of absurd though, this fucking In-N-Out burger boycott is the dumbest shit I have ever seen. I'm in bed I was waking up one morning and I see the article for it, and I'm just like, no, I'm just not even gonna read this. I'm gonna let it pass by. Hopefully nobody else pays attention. Whatever the reason, it's gotta be stupid, like why people would boycott this. And then sure enough, this shit makes its rounds on the all the news, hence the reason we're bringing it up now. It's like fucking boycotting In-N-Out Burger for, it's like not even a controversial cause. It's just contributing to Republicans. And then to make it even better, they've also donated to Democrats. So it's like, I'm like, why? Why do people waste their time with such stupid shit? Like, I don't care what In-N-Out Burger does politically. I'm still going to eat there. And it's also, I wonder how many people are like, don't even live on the West Coast. And they're like, yeah, the next time I'm over there for vacation, 6 months to a year from now, I'm not going to fucking eat In-N-Out Burger. I'm going to go somewhere else. It's like, motherfucker, you're gonna forget about this shit in a week. Like, and that's like, how effective was it anyways? Like, if people don't eat fucking In-N-Out Burger every day, unless you're like an addict, so you say you're gonna boycott it, and then the fad passes before you ever would have went there, right? So it wouldn't have fucking mattered.
Yeah, I boycotted it the other day. I drove by and I saw the line was insanely long. I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm boycotting long lines. But it's a different reason, granted. The thing that drives me nuts about it too, it's like, Oh, you guys didn't see this coming with the Bible verses on the fucking food? Like, are you kidding me? Like, do you? If
Oh
you weren't
yeah,
upset about that and you're still eating there, you're upset that they just donated to, like you said, regardless of donating the Republican, they're probably donating to random politicians. Well, I shouldn't say random, but just getting money out there. Whatever, it's a business. They can do whatever they want with it. They treat people right, make good food. Who gives a fuck?
you're gonna boycott In-N-Out Burger for donating to the Republican Party, but hey, Catholic Church is still molesting a bunch of kids, but it's still gonna be a part of that.
Well,
You
yeah, I
know.
mean, if In-N-Out actively donated to like a can't or a legal fund to protect child molesters, then I would probably maybe at that point take a stand.
Yeah.
Or if they also donated to the National Socialist Party, they were giving neo-Nazis some money. Yeah, maybe then but so. Yeah, I mean, until they get to that point, which undoubtedly they will soon enough, right?
In-N-Out Burger comes out as being pro NAMBLA. And for those who don't know what NAMBLA is, it's the National Association of Man Boy Love. Or
Marlon Brando lovers.
Yeah, something along. Yeah, Marlon Brando lovers. I always thought it was a joke, and I saw some like documentary they were talking about like on Opie and Anthony back in the day, and apparently like it's a real thing, and there's these extremely creepy old men that like are just delusional. It's so gross.
Well, at least they're getting out there and making a community effort of it. It's got to. So hopefully they'll In-N-Out start donating to them or Nazis or yeah, and then that way I can actually make a stand on it. But that's just people just want to post something on Facebook or Twitter, right? It's just, oh hey, look at me, I'm part of this too, right, guys?
Even if they did that stuff, I would still eat there. I mean, when Chipotle had the giant like E. coli scare, I still ate there like once a week. It did not faze me at all.
I'd say that's a little different from a company actively endorsing child molestation. But okay.
I had my own crazy conspiracy theory about the Chipotle E. coli outbreak. I thought that you know who Monsanto is?
Oh, of course. They're trying to kill us all.
Yeah, so Chipotle got into a lawsuit with Monsanto about some of their evil shit. So my thought was there was Monsanto people just tainting in Chipotle restaurants with E. coli in an attempt to get them to just go bankrupt and have people stop eating there, so they couldn't fight them in the lawsuit any longer.
On that point in terms of like huge corporations and fucking with people and whatnot, I had a thought when I was driving home today, like, there's that like conspiracy theory that like that powers that be are planning and they'll get rid of us all, all those poor people at some point. And I thought, if they're not planning that, I'd be kind of disappointed. Like, what kind of fucking high level evil shit is this? They're not even planning for our destruction. Like, I would be kind of sad to find out that they were literally just like living in the moment and had no like grand plan. Be like, are you fucking kidding me? Come on, I could do a lot better with that kind of power. Let's plan some Watchmen shit or Thanos or whatever it is.
I would like to be in that meeting of all the rich people like plotting this out. I'm like, so who's the least rich person of all of you guys? And the guy raises his hand. You're like, when you kill all the poor people, you're the poor person at that point, right? Because it's all relative.
Hey, you need someone to hold the line. You got to have a point of reference. He's like, I'm the reference point guy. Remember, everybody, we agreed on this. No, you can't kill me. Come on, everybody. Let's. We talked about this. Before we get too off topic, did you have anything else you wanted to say about the In-N-Out thing, or?
No, I have said my piece on fucking boycotts.
Okay, but you mentioned the fast food. I did. I just have a quick little thing on fast food before we end the discussion. Is just ordering fast food. I find it super annoying in this day and age. I don't know if it's a product of just the society at large, but I can't fucking finish talking before I get interrupted with them asking me a question about what I'm literally going to tell them. I would have told them if they didn't fucking stop me from talking. I'm like, all right, so I want a number one by, and they're like, oh, what do you want, that small, medium? I'm like, shut up. I was about to fucking tell you. I just want the small size with the. Oh, what kind of drink do you want with that? Shut the fuck up. I was about to just tell you. So yeah, I was small with the Dr. Pepper, and on the. Oh, is that complete? No. I'm about to tell you some more about my. I don't know. It bugs me, right? Like do you get that sense? I feel like every fucking time I go, I can't get a full sentence out before they immediately stop me, and I'm like, it'll be so much more efficient and easier for you if you just let me finish talking.
Yeah, it just kind of shows the level of incompetence. Like, if you know the order in which they ask you things and you tell it out of that order, then they'll just repeat it because it's like they're not even there paying attention. They're just in like robot mode.
Yeah, I guess I'm expecting a little much to just like give them all of the information, and they're not going through their specific checklist. I guess I hate to. Yeah. I'm not trying to disparage. I know I think probably the result of this is people that are actually idiots ordering, and they have to literally go through this checklist with like almost everybody else. Otherwise, they'll never get the order right. So maybe I'm being unfair, but it's still annoying.
They should incorporate that, like, you know, like the glass viewing area like you have for Subway and Chipotle and like Quiznos and stuff. They need to incorporate that into the drive-thrus because that holds them to a different standard. There's no like fucking around. Like, you are being watched from start to finish during the process of ordering and making your food.
I gotta tell you, I like that idea because I'm always trying to be nice, although I sound like a total asshole, and I am for the most part. But generally, I'm cordial in public. But always in the back of my head, I'm like, what are they really doing with my food back there? You know, I know the type of people generally are certain people that are unsavory, and you always hear those fucking. Somebody posts on Reddit who's like, I used to work at Jack in the Box and we put burgers in our assholes and then gave it to people. And you're like, oh, great. I'm glad I heard that. Yeah, we used to take the frozen burgers, shove them down our pants and shit on them and then wipe it off and give it to the customers.
I want to I just want to go off on a tangent again with South Park and Cartman making ass burgers by fucking farting. You remember that? He farted on the sandwiches. And they're like, he was farting on the food and then selling it. And they're like, this food has all the combinations of KFC, Taco Bell, and like 2 other fast food restaurants. And it was all the fast food he was eating before farting on the burgers.
See, that's the stuff we got to prevent happening with your brilliant clear window drive-through idea. Like the whole side of the building on the drive-through side. See-through. I like that a lot. I think we need to facilitate. It won't change my frustration with ordering the fucking food though. I'll still have to be sitting there like stuttering like a fucking idiot. Oh yeah, no, yeah, but I was gonna. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you for interrupting me and fucking my head up.
You know what we should also mention, and when we bring up all this fucking boycott shit, is the people burning all the fucking Nike gear. Oh my god.
Oh right, yeah. More recently, it's.
What I found especially funny is that we talked about people burning shit in the last episode and how stupid it was, and then they just do it again. Like, nobody ever learns.
It's gotten to the point, and again, with relating it back to the In-N-Out thing, it's really just the other side doing the same thing, and it's like that Spider-Man meme where it's him pointing at himself, and it's like, gotcha. Like, yeah, well, it's so stupid. And again, it all goes back, like, people are taking it to the NFL protest, and like, how much credit are you giving to the NFL for like the politics in it? You're the ones giving the NFL the power. Like, you're the ones giving the players the power with all like your reaction. So if you truly don't like appreciate it, stop talking about it and just don't watch it silently. It just constantly posting about it and saying that you're boycotting the NFL just fucking makes people think about it all the time. And I love it, and I'll watch it because I'm not boycotting it, and I don't see how you can be like so adamantly against the NFL just because of one player doing his thing, and other players did it, but they're obviously the focal point is Colin Kaepernick, but yeah, not. Anyways, it frustrates me because the NFL is just supposed to be lighthearted. It's a fucking game. I just want to watch a fucking game, and
yeah, you're supposed to be entertained.
It reminds to kind of take down a lighter note. With the football season starting soon,
we've just been angry this entire time, just bitching about things.
I know.
We gotta have some more positive stories in here.
Well, here, let me give us a spin. Talking about football with the season coming up, should be started by the time this episode comes out. But my favorite NFL story, it's in itself a controversy, but within the context of the game, as there's this old game, the snowplow game, as it's referred to. And it's like way before I was born. I can't even remember how I originally heard about this, but it's one of my favorite things ever. So basically, it was back in 1982, like the end of the football season, like at the end of the year, in winter. I think it was December, and it was the Dolphins at Patriots. So they're in Foxborough. It's fucking cold, just snow. It's just how it is. So this is the snowplow game, and why it's even notable is the end of the game. The Patriots, their like maintenance guy came out before this guy kicked the field goal to win the game. He came out and he fucking took the snowplow and cleared a spot where he was gonna kick the football. Like, he came out with the fucking snowplow in between the plays, cleared the spot. And then the guy hits the game-winning field goal. It's a 3-0 game, so that was the only point that scored. And it was basically all in part, or not basically, it was because of the guy like clearing the spot in the middle of the field. Like, it couldn't be more corrupt or like more of a way to cheat. It was such bullshit. And it just kind of like went through history, and the Dolphins coach was so fucking pissed. He like went to the league and he was like demanding that they like overturn the game, and they fucking invalidate it or whatever. And the commissioner, I mean, he's like, yeah, they shouldn't have done that, but there's no way in hell I'm ever going to overturn a game. So you're just gonna have to fucking deal with it. And thus the snowplow game.
So the Patriots have been cheating forever then.
Right, yeah. Even way before Belichick and Brady. To the credit of the team, I don't know if they necessarily told this guy to go do it, but I find it hard to believe that he would have just did it on his own volition to just go out there and plow a little space for the field goal kicker to kick the game-winning field goal.
The Patriots slogan should just be "by any means necessary."
Yeah. That, and you know what? It's probably been up on a banner in their locker room. That kind of like fucking rhetoric is all over the NFL.
I wish the story went the other way, where the Patriots maintenance guy cleared the area for the Dolphins kicker, just because it would be like the dumbest.
Like he did it on accident, like he forgot which team. He's like, oh fuck, that was the other guy. Fuck.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I thought it was funny. Like, to me, that's a way bigger controversy in football than fucking a guy kneeling. I'm like, this affected the game. This is literally the point of the game is to win. And it was like, it's straight up cheating. It's just straight up cheating. So it's funny. So whenever, if for this football Sunday, when you see everybody posting about people kneeling and everybody fucking taking everything way too seriously, just think back about the snowplow game, and it's just a fucking game, and let's get angry about stuff that happens in the game. Fucking everything outside. Let's just
not real issues, but issues within the game.
Yeah, fuck it. That's why we're watching football, right? I don't give a fuck about this other shit. I know that sounds ignorant, but it's really not. I'm with Kaepernick, just to be clear. And people that are saying boycott, not to let me just tie it up real quick. People are saying to boycott the NFL because of Kaepernick. Well, the joke's on you. The NFL colluded to keep him out of the league. So shouldn't you be happy with the NFL? Shouldn't you be happy with football? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, oh, okay. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah, I was gonna say before we go out to commercial, I'm all about ignorant opinions. Hence my standing on statistics and probability.
Yeah, I wonder how this either Colin Kaepernick is going to go and win the trial, or he's going to go and lose it. There's a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, there's also a 50-50 chance we'll be back after this commercial break. Yaboo.
Oh, hey, everybody. It's me. Yeah, I'm about to introduce myself. It's the 69 guy. 69 guy! Let me tell you a little bit more. I want to know if you got something with the number 69 in it. 'Cause I'll buy it. No questions asked. Well, there is one question. How much you want? You want $69? I'll pay that. Do you got a 1969 Mustang? Chevette? Doesn't really matter as long as it's a 69. How many miles you got on that bad boy, huh? 69,000? Let me know. I might want to buy it if the price is reasonable. I really like the number 69, so go to www.69guy.com. But remember to spell it all out, 69, because if you put the number 69guy.com, it'll be something else. It's a nice website too, but it's not mine. Let me know. I'll buy whatever you got. Thank you. 69 guy.
This is Edgar Allan Poe with food reviews. Today we review Burger Town. I went down to the Burger Town, and they pull no punches when they express the nature of what will become of your bowel movements. I haven't been to Burger Town since they stopped serving horse meat, so I felt it was a good time to do another review. While each bite cascaded layers of flavor onto my palate, it also meant I was bringing colonic doom ever closer to my sphincter. As I washed down each bite of my double-stack dumper with a concoction of supersaturated sugar water and artificial flavoring, I was left with an ominous sight of 4 pounds of burger left before me. I must say, Burger Town is an establishment I can only recommend to those possessing an iron gut and a fire-retardant butt. Thank you. I hope you enjoy Edgar Allan Poe Food Reviews. Yaboo. All right, and we're back from that exciting commercial break. Those odds were with us, I guess, huh?
Yeah, hey, here we are. Call it. We called it right.
Fucking No Country for Old Men. Oh, well, let's just roll right into our next segment. Nathan, take the wheel.
Hey, fuck you, buddy. Yeah, man. Fuck you.
Four-wheel frustrations.
All right, so I got the wheel and I'm driving, and I'm coming up to a stoplight, and I'm making sure to pull all the way up, right, behind the next person to allow people behind me the space to turn into the left-hand turn lane. Okay, sorry, that was a little weird way to approach it. I just kind of went with it.
I like it. I like it.
I am. One thing that drives me nuts, and my buddy Sean, which was mentioned in a previous podcast, I have a feeling his name's going to come up in future podcasts, just because he's a brilliant man. I know you don't know him, but he is. But
You can, if you vouch for him, I believe it.
but he brought this up to me before. He like planted the seed. He like to put the inception thought in my brain or whatever however it is. And the more I have to drive and commute, and the older I get, it really does bug me a lot. Like when you come up into intersection or when you're anywhere where it's just like congested traffic or a stop. Like people that leave a ridiculous amount of length between them and the next car up, like a car length is almost okay, but like some people leave like 2 or 3 car lengths, and if you're trying to get into the left-hand turn, you can't fucking get in that lane just because one guy won't pull up. Like, and then I'm missing the whole turn cycle of the left-hand turn. So I have to wait for another fucking cycle of lights. That drives me nuts.
What about that shit where there's like 2 left-hand turn lanes?
Well, you can't even get into the 2 left-hand turn lanes because the person stops you from the point. Like, if everybody pulled up in a way, like, you leave a couple feet. Sure, I'm not saying like get on the person's bumper, but they're stopped. Why? You don't need to leave a gap where you're worried that you're gonna come up on something too quick at a dead stop. Like, just pull up, and you can't even get to the left turn lane sometimes. It drives me nuts. Like, it bugs me so much. I don't know. You don't share this frustration, or?
I don't know. I'm just like, the traffic issues are like such mundane, like little annoyances that, for me, I just forget this stuff like so quickly. I think it all stemmed from like when I was a kid doing yard work for my dad. I just hated this shit so much that like somehow I just block it out of my mind. So like by the end of the day when we're like coming back from the dump from dumping all like the cut branches and rake leaves and whatever, I like wouldn't even remember anything we did that day. So it's like, I don't know, probably not the healthiest thing, but
you just blocked out like the majority of your life, like fucking driving and doing mundane tasks. Like so you block out these situations in the same way that somebody would like block out being molested by their priest. Like, you have the same coping mechanism for the mundane as people do with like extreme turmoil and trauma.
Yeah, that's how harsh my life is.
I don't know whether to envy you or to feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
I think I should just envy you because it does.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm so angry about it. Like, I don't want to be this frustrated with it, but it's like, I hope there's got to be people that hear this that will agree with me. There's got to be, like, I refuse to believe that people don't recognize this as an issue. Like, I refuse to believe that because I feel like every single person has been in a situation where they're like, if that fucking guy just pulled up, like, even just like 4 feet, I could get in that turn lane. I wouldn't have to fucking wait because, once they go on the regular green, the left-hand turn green is probably going to be red by the time you finally fucking get over there. And then you got to wait because it should just be a yield the whole time. Like, they should let us have the judgment call of like, hey, if there's nobody coming and it's green to go straight, I can just fucking turn, right? Like, I can see that nobody's going to hit me. I can go. But no, we don't have that.
Do you get mad at the people when you try to do the right-hand turns and they don't leave a big enough gap for you to like wedge through? Does that bother you?
Yeah, it's exactly what I'm talking about. Like, if you're blocking somebody just by negligence, or if you are doing it on purpose, it's even worse, obviously. But it's like, come on, hey, we're all sharing the road. Fucking get with the program. Like, let's be efficient about it.
I think maybe I'm just too like empathetic towards these people. Like the people that leave the gap, I'm like, oh, they've probably been rear-ended before and had to pay insurance to the person that they smashed in front of them. So they're like trying to avoid this to happen again. I had some lady.
That's like the best reason I've heard. Sorry, continue. But I to be honest, I was like, oh shit, I'm having like a fucking life-changing experience right now. But go ahead.
I'm bringing you around to my ways. I had some lady rear-end me when I was at a light. Yeah, and I'm like looking in my rear because I was at a dead stop, and I'm looking in my rearview mirror, and this lady's only going like 3 miles an hour and bumps into my bumper, and then like I could see her in the rear view like freaking out in her car, and I'm just like, this fucking idiot. Like, she's older, and so it's like I go to turn left hand turn with two left. Man, I'm just burping like crazy from this beer. So two left hand turn lanes to make the story relevant to our conversation, and I turn, and then she gets, once we're turned and going straight, she like gets in a different lane for me and tries to like take off instead of like pulling into the parking lot, and I like veer in front of her, and I'm like pointing behind me for her to like park into the parking lot. It's like, no, lady, we gotta have a conversation about what you just did. And she gets out, and she's just like, I'm sorry, like I didn't think I hit you or da da da. And I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, I fucking watched you. I fucking watched you the entire time in the rearview mirror, and you fucking lost your shit in your car. Like, you know exactly what you did. And then I just like looked at, she only hit my license plate frame, so I just looked at that. And I'm like, it's fine, just get out of here. She's like, oh, thank you so much, thank you. I'm just like, it's not worth fucking making a big deal out of this shit.
You know it's going to be a total mess, too, with somebody like that. Like, they're going to deny the fucking claim. The insurance is going to have to do, like, a full-blown investigation. I had it wasn't the exact same situation. It was a little different for mine. Like, I got rear-ended, but it was a fire truck coming across the intersection. I stopped. So it was a green intersection, but everybody stopped because the fire truck's fucking driving across the middle, but the lady behind me didn't see it in time, and she rear-ended me a little bit. But yeah, she was like she didn't try to hit and run, luckily, though. That's I like that you fucking made that lady. You're like, no, that's not happening. You're not leaving right now.
Yeah.
I didn't have to do that, but it was that situation where there wasn't that much damage, and like I could clearly tell this lady was freaking the fuck out. And I'm like, this is not worth getting insurance involved and having to go through that whole charade of like, she's clearly going to, she's crazy, so it's going to be a problem. I don't want to deal with it. So I empathize with that. But now I'm thinking about it more, that's not an excuse for leaving extra space. It's not. You can leave. I'll leave a few feet. That's fine. Half a car length. If you get hit so hard that you go more than half a car length than the next person, you're pretty much going to hit them regardless of how much space you left. If you would have had to leave like an absurd amount of space, which is just like, then the odds of getting that much force to do it are, no. My mind has not changed. I thought about it a little more.
No excuses.
Yeah, so I that's about it. It pisses me off.
You should just be a real bastard and tie like a pocket knife to the end of a pole and just start stabbing people's tires in front of you when they don't pull up enough.
Well, that's just gonna make the problem worse.
Temporarily, briefly, it will make it better for a brief window of time.
I'll feel a little better for a little bit. Yeah,
yeah.
I feel a little better now after ranting on it. I do feel a little more zen.
Good. That's what this segment's for, to get out your four-wheel frustrations. All right, let's move on to one of my favorite subjects. We're talking about the finer things in life. Honestly, it's not long enough. I think we need to tack on another 20 seconds of fancy MIDI music.
So far, that's been the best part of my day. It's just hearing that right now. But I hope I really do hope that anybody listening to this does actually enjoy that as much as we do. Because it'd be a shame if you didn't. I think it's funny. Okay, let's stop referring to our own shit and saying it's funny and talk about the real thing at hand, which is hella fancy. The thing I wanted to talk about in terms of stuff that it just boggles my mind is in furniture, like super expensive furniture that's basically style over comfort, meaning like wacky ass designs, like or not even necessarily like that wacky, just something that's like stylistically has a fucking name on it. You're paying like a $300 or $400 premium, and not saying that I wouldn't buy like fancy furniture, like having a really nice, super awesome leather couch or whatnot. Maybe even some diamonds on it. I think that'd be fun. I wouldn't
diamonds?
mind some diamonds. Yeah, some poop diamonds on my nice leather
brown
couch.
leather couch.
Yeah. But like whenever you're putting like some weird modern art thing into your furniture and you're like sitting on a triangle that's like pointing into your butt or something, and you paid $600 for that chair, you're like, I can't, that bugs me. It was such a waste. So it's so weird.
It's like the root of the problem here is that we blended art with furniture, and I don't necessarily think that should have happened. I think furniture should have stayed in the realm of being comfortable and not looking that nice. But I mean, I guess you always get to a point in every industry where it's like, all right, we figured this out, it's perfect. Well, now we just got to make it look nice. Like bicycles, it's like, all right, we can't make bicycles that much better, so now let's just keep making them lighter.
I would say though that the influence of the art into the furniture, or making it more fancy, actually, like, you're going backwards from how good it could be. You're actually making it less valuable for its intended purpose, like touching more onto the point, like why it shouldn't be about it. Why are you making a statement with something you want to sit on? Like, to fucking just sit on it. Like, buy an art piece. Get a specific art piece, and there you go. Don't make it your furniture. Isn't that kind of wouldn't that be like you're dipping your toe into too well? You're like, well, I want to be artsy, but I want to be a little practical at least. So it has to have a little more utility. I can't justify to my significant other buying this unless I can claim it as a chair. I don't know. I'm kind of grasping.
Yeah, the problem is, like, it's all taste too. So, like, I can see this like $3,000 like Victorian era like wood chair with this ridiculously high back, and I'm like, that's stupid. Why would anybody like buy that? Meanwhile, I'm like, I want the gold skull armchair that costs $5,000, or the desk lamp that looks like that's a gold AK-47. Like, I want that in my house. It's like both are stupid, but for each person, it's like, I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were saying you actually wanted that stuff. I was like, I thought I knew you, Andrew. You never mentioned this to me. I thought I would have known that about you. Yeah.
I want my man den cave to be like Scarface style, but with no cocaine.
Like, I want to live the Scarface lifestyle minus the drugs.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Everybody will come over and be like, wow, you're rich. This is sick. They're like, where's the blow? And I'm like, I got flour and sugar in the kitchen.
Yeah, I got blow pops too, if you want some of those. I got a lot of candy here.
I got that sugar, man, and they're still confused.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you're the sugar man, right? Yeah. Yeah, I am the sugar man. I got lots of sugar. Look at the nutritional facts on this packet of gummies.
Yeah.
It's insane. Look how much sugar's in there. That's when they finally realize, they're like, I don't think this guy does have
yeah. Just keep rolling out the puds. They're like, I'm fucking tired of this. There's no Coke here, is there? You're like, yeah, I got Coke. And you Coca-Cola. God damn it. I'm out.
That'd be hard to pull off, like somebody that really did like the gangster lifestyle but was super against drugs. They're like, I'm all about the gangster lifestyle. Like, everything about it is great except for the drugs. I can't be down with that.
The smart ones are the ones that just sell it and don't end up, what's the phrase? You don't get high on your own supply.
Yeah. Never get no crack where you rest at. If they want to bounce, or even if they want to ounce, tell them bounce. I wish I knew the crack commandments a little better. Clearly, I'm not as versed as I'd like to be. I shouldn't be on a podcast. I think I've mentioned it before, but I shouldn't be on a podcast. I have a lot of trouble talking. How did this come to be?
I just forced you into it pretty much.
You needed somebody to edit it.
Yeah. See where peer pressure can get you, kids.
Yeah.
It'll take you places.
We were talking about fancy furniture at some point.
Yes. We got off on the tangent of like gold and ridiculous furniture because that seems to be what drug dealers waste more money on absurd items such as nice furniture and art pieces.
Oh, thank you for connecting our ramblings. When actually on this though, I just popped in my head the Game of Thrones chair. Cool? Not cool? Do you like it?
It looks cool. I don't know that I'd ever want to like sit in it for more than like a photo. I mean, it is made of swords.
Would you ever entertain the idea of having it at your house?
No.
It's a little too much.
No, I wouldn't want it. Yeah, what about you?
See, this is where I almost shit on my own point, where I'd be like, that'd be pretty cool to have in my house. And I know I just spent like a few minutes talking shit about how dumb it would be to have something like that in my house, but like you said, it's very subjective.
Yeah, makes it difficult.
Yeah. But I still feel like, regardless of that, I still feel like a chair that's like a triangle. I've seen something like this. It's like a triangle pointing up the wrong way, advertised as a chair. That it's almost inexcusable.
So like abstract art turned into furniture is just a stupid idea. Like always like function over form when it comes to furniture.
It's got to be weighed always more on the function for the furniture. But what would be your acceptable ratio percentage wise? Like 60% function?
I mean, like as long as it matches the color like palette of your space, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, but what would be like the most in terms of ratio? Are you going to go 50-50 on it?
No.
You'll flip a coin?
Hey,
no, just kidding.
I was gonna say, do you really want to bring percentages into this?
Well, I mean, like, let's say, what would be your offset? Like, how much of the function would you be willing to sacrifice for the form?
80% function, 20% form.
Okay, yeah. I feel like I would, if it was the Game of Thrones chair, I feel like that's closer to like a 60-40. That might be my threshold, because it is a functioning chair, at least. You know, it's a chair. It works.
Yeah, fair enough. Before we get into our Faberge Egg update, we've been off air. We've been having a lot of discussions about the movie Wild Wild West with Will Smith, and we couldn't remember who his co-star was. So the reason I bring this up is that the guy's name is Kevin Kline, which to me is like, I was making these jokes before, but it just sounds like a knockoff version of Calvin Klein, or like Calvin Klein's less successful, like older brother that's just bitter.
Oh, you mean Kev?
But the point,
little Kev? Yeah.
Yeah,
He's doing okay. He was in Wild Wild West.
What else? I don't know.
That was about it.
Yeah, so we don't know what happened to this guy. So to motivate us to find out, the next edition of Who, What, Where, When, and Howie Mandel.
Why? Who, What, Where, When, Why, and Howie Mandel. Sorry.
We should have just played the stinger, man. I made a mistake.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Who, what?
That will be our
When,
next.
Why? And Howie Mandel.
Awesome. So our next edition for episode 10, the big 1-0, will be on Kevin Kline.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that we were going to But Kevin Kline is like the headliner of episode 10. We're really reaching for the stars here. We're making it a grand event hitting double digits. We got fucking Kevin Kline in the mix. I love that guy. I love him.
I think we should maintain actors that haven't been relevant for a long time. Except John Travolta. We broke it with John Travolta.
I mean, he's still arguably within those parameters. He hasn't been relevant for a while. So.
His relevancy is arguable.
I mean, Gotti was an important movie. I take it back. Gotti was important, and it needed to be done.
Yeah. I liked him in From Paris with Love, but at the same time, I think you could have put anybody in his role, and it wouldn't have changed the movie.
Yeah, that's a ringing endorsement of John Travolta's ability.
Yeah. Anybody, John Travolta, anybody could have played this role.
Except for Gotti.
Gotti.
All right, well, let's just get into it then. What's up, everybody? I know we've just been talking for like 15 minutes already, but what's up? It's Faberge Egg update. And I may be sounding a little happier than normal because I've got great news for the Faberge Egg update. Now, people...
New information?
Maybe... it's like... let me just... I'm so excited. I can barely talk. I'm introducing the Faberge Egg power ranking system.
What is that?
You know what? Power rankings. Okay, well, let me explain. These aren't like, contrary to what you might think, they're not like eggs that I think are most likely to be found. It's actually, what are the best fucking Faberge eggs? Let's just go for it. Which ones are the best? So I put some time into the top 10. Before we get into that, though, I do just want to give our normal update. None of the lost Faberge eggs have been found since we last spoke. And again, as a recap for anybody's first time listening to this, I'm talking about the Imperial Faberge eggs, of which there were 50 made to our knowledge, and only 43 are still known to exist. With the last one being found in 2014, which was the third Imperial Easter egg ever made. And that was found here in America at a flea market. So I do believe firmly another one will be found, possibly by me. Nothing would thrill me more than to do a Faberge egg update where I was the person that found it. But regardless of who finds the next one, I'll let you know. I guarantee that.
All right, what's number 1? Or are we starting with 5?
No. We're starting at 10.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, why would it... You don't even know how power rankings work.
Good thing you're here.
Power rankings, you choose to read them however you want. Anyways, I don't really have a point with that. But anyways, I just want to try to shit on you at every moment's possibility.
Yeah, I mean, my goal here is to derail you, so I'm doing a pretty good job so far.
Hang up job. Okay, so let's get. We better start because this might take a while. So coming in at number 10, and let me just preface all of this with saying the top 3 are pretty solid in the fact that most of the Faberge eggs have been found, and we have a pretty clear idea. They're probably not going to change much in the top 5 region. If a new one's found, they'll be exciting, and we'll evaluate it on this power ranking system. But until then, I would just... The bottom 5 of the top 10, the 5 through 10, that's a little more subject to change. It depends on how I feel and how I develop as a person and how I view the eggs. So just to let you know, it can change. It could potentially change. So definitely keep listening to updates.
So these rankings are subjective to your opinion and mood, basically.
No, only the bottom part where it gets a little like blurry with. They're very similar in some of these for the lower ranks, whereas in the top 5, as I alluded to earlier, those are like objectively couldn't be changed. Like I firmly believe that this is the top 5 for all of time, unless we find a new one. But I'm saying the 5 to 10, I feel like I can still do a better job of evaluating those eggs. So maybe it was, and I mentioned the mood and changing as a person, because you're always growing and your opinions on things do change. And this is, power ranking is an opinion. I can't claim objective truth behind this. I'm trying my best to get to that point. But, you know, I'm just saying that I got to simmer a little bit more on all of the rest of the eggs that are not as distinguished as the top 5.
Of course. Top 5?
Yeah, so we're starting at 10. So the standard yacht egg comes in at number 10. And this one's it's a see-through Faberge egg, which by itself, that's not super impressive. But the surprise inside of the egg is really what makes this hit the top 10. This is the reason why it's actually in the top 10. It's a golden replica of Alexander III's yacht, which at the time it was built was the largest yacht in the world. It's pretty cool.
Damn.
So the fact that that's what the surprise is, a little golden replica of the yacht inside of the egg, that by itself gets this one in the top 10. Outside of that, not super exciting Faberge egg. But the surprise is what gets it in the top 10.
Do you know how big the yacht was?
The actual yacht?
Yeah.
It was like 5,500 tons, I believe. I don't know in terms of like square footage or anything like that. That's the best info I can get you out of nowhere. Thanks for derailing me yet again.
Length compared to weight might have been a more relevant measurement to remember, but okay, let's go with the weight of the yacht.
So why does it even fucking matter? It doesn't matter. All right, number 9 is the Kachina Palace egg. It's not, again, this is another one where it's not as externally appealing as some of the other Faberge eggs we'll discuss. But this one ranks in at 9 due, again, to the quality of the egg surprise, which in this case is a golden replica of the Kachina Palace. I don't know anything. Let me just tell you right up front. I don't know anything about that place personally, historically. I don't know. So don't fucking ask. But it looks hella cool when it's when you open up the egg and you see it inside. It's all golden replica of the city. It's pretty dope. So that comes in at rank 9. This one's on display at the Walters Art Museum in Baltimore. So this one's actually in America. You can go see it in America.
Where's Kochina?
It's in Russia.
Oh, it sounds like it's Spanish.
And at rank 8, the bouquet of Lily's clock egg. So this one comes in at 8. It's the way I like to describe this egg is if I had to pick out one of the Faberge eggs I would give as like a romantic gift, this would be the one. This one has an onyx craft bouquet with diamonds and splashes of gold on it. I mean, I'll continue just because it's so elaborate, but it would be a great gift for, I mean, you would be getting laid for sure. You give this egg to somebody. It has a windable clock on it, which this is actually really cool. So we're getting into a lot of the cooler eggs now. The clock actually, the spin dial like rotates around the egg, and then it has a stationary arrow hand that is made of diamond, of course. That points up, so it's pointing to the time that rotates around the clock to keep the time. So it's a pretty cool and unique clock design. It just has diamonds running down the leg as well. The base also looks like a jewelry box, and it's accented with diamonds. In terms of the surprise, though, I wasn't able to find a picture of it, but the description of it was a ruby pendant with rose-cut diamonds. So it's just more of the same kind of theme. It'd be a great gift for a lady there.
Do you know how much it's worth?
I do not. So rank 7 is the steel military egg. This one's really cool. This Faberge egg was ahead of its time, I think, in the style that it was made in. And it's like one of the only examples I can personally think of in my limited art knowledge, but of like a really powerful example of art where military strength is displayed. This egg is supported on a base of 4 artillery shells, and it has like a really cool, clean, kind of like a mirrored steel exterior. The surprise is not super cool though. It's just a framed picture inside. It's like, okay, for the egg's so cool, the surprise is kind of lame. So that's why this one ranks at 7. Otherwise, if I had a better surprise, I would maybe in the top 5. But sadly,
Who's the picture of?
it's just like a Russian dignitary, some
Some
Oh,
guy.
actually, no, my apologies. It's actually like a picture of like an actual scene. Like it's like a little scene from the battle, where they're actually during the Great War, as it were. I don't know a lot about Russian history. I care more about the Faberge eggs, but it's this.
A portrait of a landscape?
No, it's literally has nothing to do with what I was just explaining. Anyways, at rank 6, Alexander III equestrian egg. The name of this egg alone is enough to make it rank 6. That's a sick name, right? Alexander III equestrian egg. Jokes aside, it doesn't hurt that this egg is a dope ass see-through quartz mineral egg. So you can see the surprise inside. Where like the other see-through eggs, not super impressive, but this one, now this one's a rank 6 type of see-through egg. The surprise inside, I mean, it's not really a surprise in a see-through egg, but this is just how you refer to it with the Faberge eggs. But nonetheless, it is a golden statue of Alexander III on a horse. That's pretty awesome. It's a pretty great display of like power and wealth, just encapsulated in Faberge egg format. All right, so we're getting to the heavy hitters, and I know this. Bear with me. This is actually where it gets really good. So at rank 5, we have the Trans-Siberian Railway egg. Now this is a great example of basically an egg that hits on just about every aspect of what makes a Faberge egg great to bring it into the top 5. But the one thing that keeps it from going any higher is that the exterior of the egg is just not as great as the next ones. So that's why I keep it at 5. Can't rank any higher. And that's really due to the idea that they had, which is to put a map of the Trans-Siberian route around the egg, which is a bold choice. I like hearing it in concept, but it was poorly executed. It doesn't look very good. But because it's such an innovative idea and everything else about the egg is so awesome, like the golden 3-headed eagle topper, the 3 golden griffin that are on the base supporting the egg, and the golden 5-car train replica that can be wound up to run, that's badass. And that's why it's a top 5 Faberge egg. At rank 4, we have the Moscow Kremlin egg. And this one's at 4. This is a uniquely large egg. It has a huge base. And it's cool. You just gotta look these up too when you hear them. You'll see what I mean. You'll agree with me. It's basically like the Faberge egg sitting on top of a cathedral, and it's an extremely detailed replica church interior that bring this egg into the power rankings at rank 4. The reason that it doesn't rank any higher, and again, I'll be critical with these just because I have to explain why it's not any higher. The color scheme and lack of a truly defining it factor on this one, like something that really sets it apart, keep it out of the top 3, which all the top 3 do definitely have an it factor. So it has a cool music surprise, extremely detailed replica of the church, and it's huge, and it's a cool idea. So that's a top 4 ranked Faberge egg there. Yeah, sorry, I was steamrolling because you've been purposely trying to derail me. So I'm trying to get through this. I don't want it to be like a 20-minute segment, but yeah. Do you have any real comments?
Caught on to my tactics here, but no, I don't. We're so close to the end.
You agree with everything, right?
Yes, we're so close to the end. Just let's keep it going.
All right. This is totally worth the time invested in it. Trust me. When people are like, "Hey, can you hang out?" No, I'm busy. Like, what are you doing? I'm masturbating to internet porn. I don't want to tell them that I'm fucking writing Faberge Egg power rankings. That's why I don't want to hang out with you, you know? So, all right. Anyway.
The suspense is killing me.
We're in the top 3 now. Now, these again, like, god damn, I want one. I wish I got one of these eggs so bad. But anyways, rank 3, the Royal Danish Egg. This is a very cool egg, and it ranks in the top 3.
We know that one.
The Royal Danish Egg, yeah.
This has been
it's one that I really want to. That's why I started getting excited, because this is one of the lost eggs, and it would be so cool to find it. Anyways, and it's that's why it's cool to have it in the top 3. And it's not in the top 3 because it's lost. Don't fucking get it twisted. This is a very serious ranking system. But basically, it's in the top 3 because this is like the most extremely impressive ornamental base of all of the eggs. Like, it's got 3 lions holding it up, who are in turn standing on another base. Like, they doubled up on the bases on this egg. It's the other thing that really sets it off too. Like, some of the eggs have cool toppers. This one has one of the coolest ever. It's got an Order of the Elephant topper, which basically an elephant. Hard to get much cooler than that. What?
Nothing. Continue.
Okay. And this is basically the best example of a Faberge egg that shows that it's just great to be hella fancy, just for the sake of it. Just be fancy, and sometimes it works. And this is one of those cases in spades. It doesn't rank any higher though. And it can't be higher in top 3 just because the surprise is just a picture. Again, I don't like the picture surprises, not super interesting. But the picture's frame matches the style of the egg itself, and has a fancy base and a border. So it's not the worst picture surprise, but everything else about the egg is really awesome. Number 2, the Lilies of the Valley egg. This egg is one of the most uniquely beautiful Imperial Faberge eggs. Just everything else about it is great, but just its uniqueness itself is why I have it at number 2. I almost say you just have to see it. It's obviously a product of its name when you do see it, Lilies of the Valley, which is also an excellent name. So it gets some points for that. But it's like an egg that's blooming out of a stem. And it's really harder to describe this egg. Basically, it's really unique, and it's of course extra fancy, but it's done as if it were a plant. So it's very cool. The surprise itself is 3 pictures displayed by a twisting pearl button. So this one's not as bad of a picture surprise because you press the little button and they pop up out the top, and it's like a little 3-frame picture. The pictures themselves are pretty lame, but the mechanism for which they come out is pretty cool.
Do they all have surprises inside?
They all were intended with surprises. There's some where the surprises were lost, and there's very few where it wasn't documented what the surprises were, but they all did have one. All right, so rank 1, and this one's a no-brainer. I mean, you know what it is, right?
Of course.
Of course, it's the cockerel egg. I can't think of any reason that this wouldn't be rank 1. The surprise is literally a chicken made of golden feathers. It's literally a golden chicken.
A magnificent gold cock.
But in all seriousness, it's super badass. So the way the surprise works is you press a little button, and it's like a cuckoo clock. You press a button, it does its thing, and the thing that it does as it sings and flaps its wings while ascending on a golden platform, only to descend back into the depths of the egg once it completes its performance. It's pretty cool. It was the first of 4 Faberge eggs to have a singing bird and one of 2 imperial Faberge eggs. So it's very unique in that regard as well. And it's clearly the best.
Clearly.
The exterior of the egg itself is a beautiful royal purple and gold color scheme. And it has, the huge fucking clock on the front. It's a cuckoo clock egg, basically. It's got to have the clock. But all around, the coolest surprise. I love the purple. I think it's the best exterior color used on any of the Faberge eggs, and it's a well-deserved rank 1. So yeah, top 10.
Good job. That was
it may have been a little longer than I thought it was gonna be there. Sorry, everybody. I mean, you're welcome, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. You're all smarter now.
But honestly, I've ever since I started doing the Faberge egg update, I didn't think I'd actually learn so much about the eggs. I've always been fascinated about them, but now I truly do feel like a qualified expert of Faberge eggs.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should see if there's like a sommelier status for Faberge eggs.
I gotta fucking make some use out of all the time I spent doing the fucking Faberge egg update research.
On the plus side, we can now be considered the #1 podcast on Faberge eggs, so we got that going for us, which is nice.
With this update alone, right?
Yeah.
Before it wasn't, but now it is.
No. Now we've met the criteria.
I honestly do hope that was somewhat entertaining.
It was.
I realize it may have been somewhat self-indulgent, but it's interesting. I think some people will enjoy that. I'll find a way to post this online somewhere too, so you can have it. People can go back and refer when they need to tell their friends about the power rankings for the Faberge eggs. They'll have a convenient way to check it out.
You'll just chop this up into its own clip, so people don't have to listen to our other bullshit, and they can get straight to the good part, which is the Faberge egg updates. I mean, that's all anybody listens for, right?
Clearly, that's why I spend so much time on it. I know it's the most popular segment. So somehow we've managed to big surprise with the long power ranking. We've had now the longest podcast again. I think we're gonna start trying to dial it back to not going over an hour in the future. So just letting everybody know.
We'll cut out all the bullshit segments and just start talking about more and more Faberge eggs. What we're really getting at.
I'm gonna get through all I'm gonna do a top 40 next episode.
Yeah. What we're really working towards is phasing out the bullshit so we can focus solely on Faberge eggs.
That's been I was pretty upfront with you when we started this podcast that like this was my main goal was to do Faberge egg update.
Yeah, if you didn't realize it, and Faberge egg in Russian is actually called hella rad, so
it's all connected.
On that note, Nathan, you want to play us out here, Keyboard Cat?
Yeah, well, again, congratulations to me for knocking it out of the park with the Faberge egg update. If you want to know more about Faberge eggs, hit us up on Twitter at It's Hella Rad.
No other questions, just Faberge egg.
No questions. You don't need. Actually, feel free to ask questions. What are you talking about? No questions.
No criticisms, though.
Yeah, ask me all the questions you want about Faberge eggs. Don't ask me questions about what the surprise replica is about. Don't do what Andrew did. Anyways, follow us on YouTube. Search for us, Hella Rad. Should be pretty easy to find. Hopefully, it's not too bad. On SoundCloud, we're at It's Hella Rad. Facebook, Hella Rad. Check it out. Give us a like. If you can, go on Apple Podcasts and like us or subscribe. To my knowledge, that's the most effective way to get this out to people, so that'd be much appreciated. Outside of that, thank you so much for listening to us rambling on, and hope you enjoyed it.
All right, have a good one. Yaboo.
If you got a big Badoo, get in the Badoo.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, just